Good Sunday mid-morning. My name is Melissa from Melissa's Struggling Walk with Jesus. I am here to share the Voice of the Martyrs Extreme Devotion with you. And we are on day 38. The Bible verse comes from Acts chapter 1 verse 8. And you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere, in Jerusalem, throughout Judea, in Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. So the title is Extreme Witnesses. This happened in Amoria to 7 prisoners, and it says, for 7 years, the radical Muslim clerics had tried to convince the infidels to follow Islam, but the Christians, locked in the brutal darkness of the prison, would not convert. So Muhammad is the greatest prophet, they tried to explain to the Christians. He lived more recently than Christ and was the final prophet of Allah. Christians listened carefully and replied, in your own legal system, a martyr's legitimacy is determined by the number of witnesses. Jesus Christ had witnesses of his coming from Moses to John the Baptist. Muhammad only witnessed to himself. Confounded, the Imams tried a different attack. Surely Islam is the religion ordained by God, for our empire is far greater than the lands controlled by Christians, they said with smug smiles. If that were true, replied the Christians, then the idol worship of Egypt, Greece, and Rome would have been true faiths, because at one time their governments had the largest empires. It is obvious that your victory, power, and wealth do not prove the truth of your faith. We know that God sometimes gives victories to Christians and sometimes leaves them in torture and suffering. In 845, the Muslims near the Middle Eastern city of Amoria finally gave up on seeing the Christians follow Muhammad. All 7 were beheaded, and their bodies were cast into the Euphrates River. So Jesus commanded us to be his witnesses. And we do that by always being prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks us the reason for our hope. You might not have an answer in every non-believer's doubts and questions, but if you get to a point in a witnessing opportunity where you do not know the answer, say so. When the formerly blind man was asked questions about Jesus that he did not have the answers for, he simply replied, I do not know whether he is a sinner, but I know this, I was blind, and now I see. Check out John chapter 9, verse 25. So like him, there are things we do not know, but we do know Christ and the change he has made in our lives. So those are extreme witnesses. Now it's day 38. Thank you for listening, my friends.